What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to continue the Elbaf madness with One Piece chapter 1189. Obviously, with the way that the last chapter ended, I've been waiting and dying to see this how this all unfolds now that Luffy kind of got cooked by Emu. You know what I mean? We'll see where it goes. I did see the chapter title when I was setting up the stream, which kind of has me hyped. It was King of the World, I believe. So I think we're gonna have a lot to look forward to, if I had to guess. You know, this is it's a pretty big moment. So obviously we had a break last week, and I think the last stream I mentioned that I was gonna hold a collab or do something last week, but I apologize. I have another excuse, but this one is very serious. I got a horrible case of poison ivy last week, and both my hands were not really working very well, but we're healed up now and doing better just in time for the stream. So hopefully, I don't know if we have a break or whatever, but hopefully now I can actually stick to my my promises and do some other streams. But yeah, welcome everybody. I'm not spoiled at all on this, by the way, so I have no idea what happens other than I saw the title King of the World, so I can imagine it's going to be Emu centric, but I would have probably guessed that even if I didn't see the title. So very much looking forward to it for sure. Real quick, I saw some donations earlier that I want to get through. Shout out to everybody who was here early, by the way. I know it was kind of a quick setup because the chapter was a little late, so appreciate you guys for being here. Mr. Bushido with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you as always, brother. Seriously, appreciate you very much. Mick Pulsar, or actually, before I move on to the next one, real quick, anybody who got a membership or who is a member in general, I did post about the next TCG giveaway, so if you are a member, go to the community tab and you'll see the last members only post, and you can just comment and sign up. It's for OP17, which is the Elbaf set, so just be on the lookout for that if you are a member or if you luck into a membership during the stream. Mick Pulsar, member for 25 months, just over 2 years. I appreciate you. You said, Subdak, hope you're doing well, very hyped. I am doing well now that I'm past the poison ivy madness, although, and I'm sure one of you guys will bring it up, so I might as well just say it now. We did just get the news that LeBron James is going to the 76ers of all places, which I got a lot of thoughts on that, but, as a Cavs fan, it is disappointing for sure, but it is what it is. We'll see how good they are. I mean, I think it'd be poetic justice if the Cavs just beat the Sixers at this point, but we'll see. Appreciate you either way. Quinidin, member for 26 months, just over the 2-year mark as well. I appreciate you. 10 out of 10 chapter, great chapter as always. At this point, I feel like they're all 10 out of 10s. We've talked a lot about resetting the scale for how great the chapters are getting. We almost need to have a grand reset where because every chapter is a 10 out of 10 at this point. We need to really rethink the scale, you know what I mean? Because we're breaking it every week at this juncture, I feel like. So but either way, appreciate you, Quinidin. Mr. Bushido with the €2. Forget the chat, get into the chapter, because wow. All right, hey, you know what? I think you might be the last. Oh, never mind. There's a few more. On my end, you were the last one, and then I refreshed, and there was a bunch more. So I'll get through this quick batch of them that I have right here, and then we will hurry up and get into it, because I was literally in my car about to go drive and go get some food from somewhere, maybe Taco Bell, because if you remember, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said I was going to go because they had some new items. Well, the new item that I really wanted just came out today, so I was gonna go, but then I saw the chapter dropped, so here we are. But I do want to go get some food soon because I have not eaten today. But either way, Caden Eli, member for 2 months, I appreciate you. All I can say, wow, man, Bushido was just saying the same thing. This must be a big one. I'm very much looking forward to it. GG's Boxcar, my goat, with the 5 gifted memberships. GG, I appreciate you, brother. Seriously, thank you so much for everything. Welcome all the new members. Like I said, make sure you go check out the community tab for the giveaway if you are interested in that and you did get a membership. Adam L with the $2 super chat. Sorry about LeBron. Emu less than King Braun. I gotta go Emu. I gotta go King of the World over King James now. If LeBron had chosen the correct team, then it'd probably be the other way. But I gotta go Emu. I gotta go Emu's greater than now. I have to. Mr. Bushido with the €2. Emu is on the Titanic, hence the title. Oh yeah, is that what it is? It's about Emu being on the Titanic. I should have guessed. I should have known. Rapo with the 2 pounds. Dak, you might need a respirator for this one. It's that big. Y'all are hyping this one up, yo. Y'all are really hyping this one. This better be a big one. Although you guys are usually right whenever you warn me, so I'm sure it is hype. So, Wendy Ghost, the title is King of the World. Yeah. B Plot, you said we need a Taco Bell review. Sibo, One Piece or Taco Bell, quite a dilemma. It's a tough one, guys. Whenever they got the what was it, the chicken, crispy chicken bacon ranch or something burrito, something. All I know is there's chicken and bacon in it. I don't even know, but that was the one I wanted to go try. And also, I was about to go to one Taco Bell, and it was like $7 for that one item, but then it was like $5 at the other Taco Bell. And so, you know, if you're gonna go to Taco Bell, check out the app and look at the prices, because man, they aren't consistent. They aren't consistent. But all right, guys, it is time to get into the chapter. Rapo, I may not have a respirator, but I do have a bottle of water, so hopefully that'll help me get through. Tiny Angry Gnome, or Tiny Sexy Gnome, as some people call you. This is a crazy chapter, actually nutty. Well, I mean, if you're saying that, this must be hype, man. This must be hype. Let's go ahead and get into it right now. 1189, King of the World. I really, really like this cover page. So we got like the 3 monkeys doing the, you know, like speak no evil, see no evil, hear no evil, but it's like Zoro, Luffy, and Sanji, and you got Nami back there angry at them like that. That's pretty awesome. This is an awesome cover page, I gotta say. This is sick. This is actually so sick. Man, they've been Oda, you've been cooking with the cover pages, bro. I gotta be honest with you. The cover requests lately have been the best you've ever done. The last like 20 of them. I mean, a lot of them are like really good, and I enjoy looking at them. I mean, I don't know. There's actually a lot throughout the story that I think are pretty iconic. But lately, you have been on a roll. I gotta tell you, you have been on a roll lately. The 3 proverbial wise monkeys sit in Seiza. I don't know how to say that. As Nami lectures them for their mischief. Yeah, so that's very cool. That it's the monster trio. Very, very cool. All right, here we go. Back into the heat of Elbaf here with Luffy getting stabbed by Emu. Luffy after just 1 hit from Emu. Huff. I love the sound effects. Another huff. And then Emu stabs Luffy like into a tree, and it looks like the tree, kind of like we saw at the end of last chapter, the trees had like the life sucked out of them, kind of, right? Or they were dried out, or however you want to put it. And so he's getting stabbed into one of those here. Emu looks so cool, guys. I feel like now that we're used to him, we kind of take it for granted, but he looks so cool. Usopp. What? What's wrong, Usopp? It's Luffy. I'm just worried if he's gonna be alright. What? Why are you being so ominous all of a sudden? So it's interesting that Usopp is getting this sort of connection, right? I'm probably reaching here, but the first thing that comes to mind is like, is this the beginning of him getting the voice of all things, or some other observation thing where he's like connected with Luffy, you know? Probably not, but it's interesting that it's him that's seeing this, right? Of course he'll be fine. Don't forget, his opponent swiftly defeated a large giant, Nami. Hey, Fishman, huff huff. Who the hell are you saying he defeated? Took me a second to realize Jinbei was talking about him, but yeah, I like Loki talking some stuff there. All I can say for sure is that Luffy's hockey suddenly weakened just now. By the way, look how big Ragnir is. Like, I don't know if we've had a lot of panels where we get to really see his scale that clearly, but look how big he is, bro. That's a giant squirrel. Which makes sense, being on Elbaf and everything, like it obviously, but it's a good, it's like one of the best scaling panels I think we've gotten of him. Let's see here. Oh, we're over to Brooke and Gunko. Okay, what's about to happen? There, she's completely thawed out. Princess Shuri, we shouldn't warm her up too quickly. Don't worry, I don't have any body heat. What happened back then? Tell me about that time. It's you, isn't it? Princess Shuri? All right, so she is like still passed out from the ice, I'm guessing. Squeak, squeak. So here's Ragnar again. Again, huge. Stay back. Don't get in the way. Squeak, squeak. Brooke, are you good here? If things get scary, then... Haradine, we're going too fast. What, are they about to crash into Loki? Oh my god, they are. I feel like this is like a definitely a trope at this point, right? Because this has happened multiple times where Loki gets, like, just hurt an unnecessary amount of times. Like, remember when he was hurt and they were like trying to feed him and then they like spilled the boiling soup on him or something like that? I can't remember exactly, but this is definitely a gag at this point that Loki just gets hurt all the time, you know? Guard point. Okay, so Chopper jumped in there and helped a little bit, but I'm assuming Loki still probably took some level of damage. Is he just protecting Gerd? Yeah, okay, I think that's what he was doing. What are you guys doing here? Haradine, Gerd, Chopper? Thank you, Chopper-kun. You're so cute and reliable. Praise like that doesn't make me happy or anything, you jerk. Always love that trope from Chopper as well. I need to hurry, Loki. Let me see those wounds. And see, I love this because, you remember, she got her fingers chopped off, like, I don't know, how long ago do we think that was? Like, an hour ago? 30 minutes ago? I really have no idea how long time-wise it's been. But she got her fingers chopped off not that long ago, so it's kind of cool that she's here already working on helping people, you know? There's blood everywhere. This is bad. You guys will make my injuries worse. What did you come here for? Huff, huff. Haradine, it's a waste for you to make a stand here. Oh, that's right, because he got hit by one of Emu's attacks, right? Or, yeah, right? Am I thinking of the right thing? Back whenever he first got there, I think he did. Go back up Loki, but the kids. Even if we rescue the children, it'd be just a temporary reprieve. Their goal is to totally subjugate Elbaf by force. Do you really think this is a position they just decided on at the Reverie? That can't be the whole story, right? That man is likely at the heart of this. Old man Jarl talking some facts, talking some reason here. Loki, do you have any idea who that guy is? Yeah, sort of. What's he about to say? Okay, now we're getting back over to Emu and Luffy. It seems thou art unable to move. Cough, wheeze, wheeze. This sword feeds on life force. This sword feeds on life force. So it is, I feel like this is definitely pointing towards Emu having, like, soul powers, right? Like life force, soul, lifespan. Those are all kind of like dancing around the same thing. Obviously Big Mom's soul was like, you know, your lifespan, which is your soul, but then Brooke, I feel like, had a little bit of a different soul, right? That like came back, like the 21 grams thing. So I don't really know how this is exactly working, but I mean, that, I feel like that definitely confirms it. You know, we've been talking about how a lot of Emu's powers kind of seem like Big Mom's, with like the little fireballs talking to each other, the houses singing and dancing, all that stuff. I feel like that's definitely a huge point there for sure. And I gotta say, the sword looks sick. Oh, like here on this bigger panel where we get to see the hilt more clearly, the sword is sick. How many slashes can thou endure before perishing? Huff, huff. Luffy still conscious, but definitely kind of cooked there for sure. Monkey D. Luffy. Man, Emu said his name. That's pretty cool. Monkey D. Luffy. Such a detestable name to Mu. And yet thou hast two elder siblings who go by different names. Is it? I'm trying to think. Is it like public knowledge that Sabo... I can't remember. Like, does the world know that Sabo and Luffy are brothers? I genuinely can't remember. Was that like in the paper or something? A brother slain by the Navy, and the other is a prominent member of the Revolutionary Army. Wait, what's happened? Another sword just came in? Where did it come from? I mean, it looked like it came from behind Emu. Fraggarok. I think I'm saying that right. Fraggarok? I don't know. I have no idea. What an ill-mannered trio of siblings. It's very cool that Emu is even bringing up Sabo and Ace. That is very, very cool. He must be the one that we spoke of. Red Hair mentioned him back then. With this ability, I'll make sure Pops and those soldiers have no regrets. Hold on, Loki. I know you're angry, but you can't do that now. What are you talking about, Red Hair? Are you really gonna stand in my way when I want payback for my dad? I considered Harold a friend. I'd like nothing better than to avenge him too. But you have to think clearly. The government just attempted to take over Elbaf. Your priority should be to prepare for war. This is a great Shanks moment, I feel like. This is the kind of stuff I like from Shanks, where he kind of like understands the grander scope of what's going on, and he, pushes people in the right direction for some ultimate goal. I mean, we really, don't know Shanks's true intentions, I feel like, but obviously he's like a good guy. But I love this type of stuff from Shanks the most. This is awesome. Huh? A full-on war with the world government? That's not what I have in mind. This is personal. Dad and those men have regrets I need to lay to rest. I'm talking about revenge on the ones responsible. And just who is that? Who is your target? All those world government bastards. The one who tried to use Harold is king of the world. See, this is sick. And also, I love in this next panel, Loki is just laughing. I haven't even read everything they're saying yet, but Loki in the back laughing at that is very cool. Very, appropriate for him, I feel like. What are you saying, Shanks? The world government has no sole ruler. It'd contradict everything that they stand for. Hey, Shanks, it's okay if you don't believe me. Haha, if there is a secret king, I can just take his head and be done with it. Even if you make it to the Holy Land, the king's power is immeasurable, and that's if you can make it there. There is someone who managed it once, though. And of course, that is Rox D. Zebek, the GOAT, who Loki obviously was heavily inspired by, which is a cool little, connection there. We don't need to rush into this fight just yet. Shut it already. You don't get to boss me around. I don't care where that prick is hiding. I'll destroy everything in my way. Don't do anything stupid, Loki. That's very cool context where Loki has known this entire time that, that Emu exists, or at least that there is a king of the world and all that. because obviously he leaves her a while and rampages around the world, and I think this is just like some cool context for that sort of situation. Plume Black Hat, you said kind of implying Rock's greater than Loki. No, I mean, I think ultimately Loki will surpass him, but I think it's more of a thing for now where it's like, I think it's more building up the feat. Like, it's like, hey, if you want to get there, you got to be a goat like him, and Loki kind of is, but I don't know, maybe he's just not there yet. Although it is kind of crazy in hindsight, like Rox went there by himself, right, and just did it all. Like, he didn't even have a warning that there was a king of the world and all this stuff. So I don't know. I feel like if Loki really wanted, he could probably. Well, I was gonna say he could probably get in the throne room, but like he wouldn't even fit. So I don't. It's a totally different ball game. But either way. Don't do anything stupid, Loki. Those few years I left the country, I wasn't even able to make it to him. Well, there you go. If the king of the world really has come out to play, this is the perfect chance. It's interesting that Loki says he wasn't even able to make it to him, because it's like, through what context exactly? Like did he go to Marijois and like rampage one time, but he just got fended off? Could he just like, did he even really try? Did he try luring him out instead and couldn't do it? Like, I wonder exactly what he means, because like we haven't heard of the admirals or somebody mobilizing to stop Loki or anything, right? Or I mean, it would probably be the Gods Knights, I suppose. But I would really like to see some of the context, like who stopped him and what times, right? Let's see. This is the perfect chance. You're so simple-minded. Say what? But I have no objections in this case. I'm going to take him down. Our father's enemy. Harudin? Look. Harudin, man, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of your work. But this, I don't know, man. They feel like some empty words. I mean, I'm sure he means them, but like, there ain't no way Harudin's doing this, right? I mean, I'm sure he might have an important role, but man, Harudin saying that's kind of crazy. This is an unreal conversation. Jinbei. It is funny thinking about Jinbei's like context of joining the crew, because I mean, like, he kind of already knew what he was getting into, but like I don't know. Jinbei meets back up with the crew that very night. They beat Kaido and Luffy becomes the sun god or whatever. They go over to Egghead, they meet all the Gorosei. Now he's here, the king of the world's coming after him. Like, poor Jinbei, he joins the Straw Hats and it's complete mayhem that since the second he got on board, you know what I mean? If the world has a king, then what role do the 5 elders serve? I love that question. I just told you not to get in the way. Cheap. So what is okay, so going back to earlier, Ragnar's trying to do something to Gunko, right? Is Ragnar trying, like, can he wake her up and Brook is just being defensive and he doesn't understand what's happening? Oh, and right here they're answering it. That's twice now that's happened. Anyway, he says he froze her because she's dangerous. Huh? You're the one who froze her? But she's melted now because of the hammer, right? So shouldn't she be like conscious? Well, she may indeed be dangerous, but I assure you, it's not her fault. She was being controlled. This girl is like a daughter to me. Cheap? Sounds like there's a lot of interesting things going on here. Robin, oh yeah, wait, Robin's been MIA for a while, right? Because she was in the library. Chopper, I want you to come to the library right away. Saul, hold on, is this so Chopper can talk to Biblo? Is this finally happening? We've all been asking for it. We've all been waiting for it. We all knew it was a possibility. Is that what's happening? Is that why Robin needs Chopper to go over there? I don't know if we'll see it this chapter, but I really hope that's what it is. Let's see. Now we're back over to Emu and Luffy. Next is, oh my, Huff Huff. Apologies, but this is the next blade thou must suffer. How unfortunate. The third one up is Xingqian? I have no idea how to say that name. And so this is a giant axe this time. I feel like this is very Elbaf-esque, right? Because there's a lot of images, like promotional art of Luffy wielding an axe from this arc and stuff. So it's very fitting. And I'm sure somebody's going to bring it up. And I know I have a little bit more to read here, but and I'm sure somebody's going to bring it up, but because this was a theory last week, but are these all blades from the throne room? Because like after we saw the second one, I was really starting to wonder that, but now we see this axe. And did we see an axe in the throne room among the 19 blades? I genuinely don't remember. But I feel like this axe would definitely be the ultimate proof, right? Like if you can see that in the throne room, then you know that's what it is. If it's not there, then probably not. And I'm sure you guys are probably answering, but I got one more or a couple more pages to go here, so just give me a second. Sea Cloudport, Western Village, King of Hell, 3 Sword Dragon, 103 Mercies, Gihaha, Dragon Damnation, Graham. So, cool seeing Zoro jump in here. I'm just trying to think. Did we? I think we saw the attack named Graham before, right? I think so. I remember reading that somewhere this arc. But 800 years ago, the 19 kings who forged our world made a vow of equality. They placed their swords all around the empty throne to mark that oath. Is this really about to be the third time this chapter where I ask a question and then Oda answers it immediately afterward? Is this really... Is this really where there's no way that's happening again, man. It's like I unlocked Future Sight in this chapter. I swear I was genuinely just asking, and for the third time, I think I'm getting my answer right away. Tohu, Bohu, Nemesis, Longinus, Stigma, Muramasa, the 19 world weapons. Yep. Guys, I unlocked Future Sight. It's like I was fighting Katakuri. I can see a glimpse into the future now, apparently. Oh, yeah, Oda read my mind, and apparently I was reading his as well. They were all laid to rest there. But guess what? When the Great One revived us with Omen, he granted us access to them. I'm not lying. Their power is a legend that lives on through the great houses. Get it, Roronoa Zoro? This is the power that reigns over the world. Yo, this is some of the coolest summer stuff we've ever had. So that sword he's using is also one of them? Or did his sword, like, transform into it? You know what I mean? Like, did he always have one of the original? Or did his sword become one, kind of like how Emu's pulling the weapons out of nowhere? I assume it's like the latter, but I don't really know. Yeah, because he says when the Great One revived us with Omen, he granted us access to them. So I'm guessing the Omen, he can, like, pull the swords out of there or, like, turn his into one or whatever. Okay, very interesting. Now, I'm curious on, like, what is so special or important about these swords? Like, obviously they're the original 19 Kings, so they're important for that reason, but, like, are they all really powerful just because they're, like, the supreme grade blades? Are they really powerful because they're all black blades? Are they all... You know what I mean? Are they devil fruit imbued? Like, I want to know why these swords are so important. I don't think they can be the supreme grade blades because if there's 19 there and there's only, isn't it? Hold on, I'm gonna do some quick research. I know I have another probably crazy page to read here. Yeah, because it's the 12 supreme grade, so you can't have 19 if there's only 12, right? And even for great grade, there's only 21, and we already know of more than 2, so these 19 can't even be great grades. Like, they could be a mix of supreme and great. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see what all that is going to kind of end up as. But, all right, here we go. Final page. I think it's the final page. It is. This is the weapon of House of Shepherd. Graham. Yeah, so I think we heard about Graham earlier this arc at some point. I'm pretty sure. Meet the weapon of House of Remo Shifu. Longinus. That one looks pretty sick, I gotta say. I mean, the Graham looks pretty cool because I mean it's got the little spikes and stuff. Longinus though, that might be one of the coolest blades I've seen in the whole story. Let's see. Thou shouldst be honored to die by the arms that constructed this world. But GG, shout out GG in the chat. I mean, they didn't spell it right, but close enough. Shout out GG getting a shout out from Oda. Wow. And then Scopper jumped in again, because remember he jumped in earlier this arc to help against Summers and all that stuff, and even like when Gunko, like, to help the kids. I mean, he ended up not being able to do a whole lot to Gunko, but obviously he jumped in and got involved earlier. Scopper again, and actually it's axe versus axe, right? Like Imu was about to hit Luffy with this axe, and Scopper jumped in. It also looks like the tree got cut behind. And so Luffy is gonna he's gonna get out of here. He's gonna like probably fall down to at least, I don't know if he's gonna go all the way to the realm of the dead, but he's gonna fall somewhere and get away from this. Wow, Scopper. We just met him in the anime, and then in the manga, he's balling out again. Wow. Yeah, export. He saw Axe and said bet. He's like, man, look, I can't let you cramp my style like this. Like, you know, you're talking about how great your axe is. Well, let me show you the real axe of the Mountain Eater or whatever, right? I like it. I think that's cool. I mean, I'm very concerned for Scopper's well-being at this point. I mean, Scopper might be I don't know if Scopper's going to make it out of here alive at this point. I mean, at least like in theory he should be, you know, at risk. I mean, if Luffy got cooked this quickly and Loki got cooked that quickly, I mean, I love Scopper, but in his advanced age, I mean, that's going to be tough. And if Scopper ends up dying, and we get this spiel about how, you know, Imu's like finally vanquishing some of the remnants of that horrible crew or whatever, you know, like, I mean, that could be kind of cool. But I'm a little worried about Scopper now, guys. I mean, again, I don't want him to go anywhere, but like, I mean, that's not looking good. I'm curious where Luffy's gonna go though, because like I said, he got separated. So, like, I'm trying to think of what makes sense. I mean, going like near the doctors or like Chopper would make sense so we can get healed. But I also feel like Zoro finding him and getting to like mess around with those swords, right? Like if Luffy falls, is he gonna keep the swords with him? Because the swords are like, you know, pulled out of the omen or whatever you call Imu's version of that. You know, so I don't know how like real they are, so to speak. Like, are they physically 100% here, or is it just made of Imu's abyss stuff and it'll like dissipate? I don't know. But like, if Luffy falls and he keeps these swords and then Zoro finds him and Zoro gets to use one, I mean, that would be pretty sick. You know, I mean, it would almost be like Enma all over again, but like an upgrade, you know? So I think that would be pretty sick, but yeah, 319 swagger, I agree. Things are getting interesting, man. This is, I really like this because it's like it's really hype, and I mean, I'm enjoying everything I'm seeing, obviously, but I really like when Oda adds this little layer of like unexpectedness into it, you know? Like, I was not ready for Scopper to jump in and start fighting Imu, and also for all these blades to become a huge factor, right? So now, like, I'm hyped about, you know, Emu doing his thing and Sanji getting conquerors and Zoro doing his thing and all that, but now that you've kind of added this other layer of mystery to it, I'm like so intrigued, you know? I feel like this could go a million different ways. Huh. Shinho Wong, you said last page, read the notes, Dak. I got you. Before I read anything, I just gotta say this this drawing at the bottom with with the dude with his face on his body and the shield and the axe, that is one of the craziest images I think I've ever seen. I'm just gonna start with him. So I guess it's about the different blades, like where the names could be coming from. So that's Xing Qian. No idea if I'm saying that right, but a headless, axe-wielding Chinese god who persists on fighting the supreme divinity even after his own decapitation, and that's why he doesn't have a head. Kanji equal divine executioner's axe. All right, that's cool. I'll go back to the first one here with the monkeys. The 3 monkeys on the cover are, oh yeah, just the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, knew that. Longinus, the spear said to have impaled Jesus Christ during his crucifixion. Kanji equals spear of holy life. Wow. I didn't know that. See, Oda's picking some cool sword names here, man. You know what? I'm a huge fan of this. I'm a huge fan. Graham, the sword used by Sigurd, used to kill the dragon Fafnir in Norse mythology. Kanji equals sword of rage. Dude, so he's picking all these, like, famous mythological blades. That's so sick. Fragorok, a magical sword of Irish mythology. Shout out Bushido in the chat. I already know you got to be excited about that one. Tohu Wabohu, which might be my favorite name of all these swords. The formless void which God formed the universe from in the Hebrew Bible. Kanji equals sword of disorder and sword of the void. Nemesis, kanji is sword of the heavenly punishment. Stigma is the sword of hatred, which that kind of makes sense, I feel like, with what stigma tends to mean a lot of the time. Muramasa, the legendary Japanese swordsmith. That's sick, man. That's so cool, Oda. I'm a huge fan of that. I really wasn't expecting the 19 blades of the 20 Kings to matter this much, but I'm glad they do. This is sick. This is very cool. And I mean, this has to ultimately lead to Zoro learning about black blades, right? Like, not that he has to get one like this fight or whatever, but I feel like that's where this has to go ultimately, right? Is that whatever abyss stuff or whatever the heck is going on with these blades, like, this has to be at least a step towards the black blade thing. It has to. I don't really know where else this could go for Zoro. I mean, I don't know. I really like the idea he gets a hold of one of those swords in Luffy's body and he's like, huh, this power's different. Let me try it out. You know, and we just kind of redo the Enma thing. I don't know. I'm a huge fan, though. I'm a huge fan. Rapo, you said, so question mark out of 10 chapter deck. If I had to give it a rating, let me scroll back through. I'm not going to give it a 10, not because it's not amazing, but kind of like I said before, we've been really changing the scale every week, and so I'm not going to go a 10 on this, as hype as it was. I'll go a solid 9. I'll go at least a 9. I'll put it that way. It probably deserves a 9.5, but I'm going to go 9. At least a 9. The Shank stuff, actually, that might be my favorite part of the chapter. I mean, the swords are really hype, too. But the Shanks thing, I really liked the Shanks bit where he was talking to Loki. That was a big plus for the chapter in my mind. I gotta say it again, guys. That Haradin, I wish I had that much confidence, Howardine. You know, I really do. I really wish I had, you know, the gall to say that I'm going to be the one to take down the king of the world when I'm just Howardine and I could barely beat Mach-Vice, you know. But that was kind of wild, but I think Oda's building something there. Even if Loki fails, he'll probably do something important that helps him achieve his dream to be the king of the giants later or something. I'm sure there's a reason for this being established, but like I said, I wish I had that level of just blind confidence, you know. But yeah, man, this is a great chapter. Very good chapter. This is definitely one where I'm like, I want to hear a lot of theories about what's going on next, because kind of like I said, like, this is all super hype just, you know, because Imu's here and Luffy's fighting him and all that. But now these extra little mysteries that are being thrown in, now I'm like very intrigued on, you know, your guys' thoughts of where this could go. So I'm going to go ahead and bounce over to the super chats, which, by the way, I didn't get to it, but I promise you I meant to do it, and I will next stream, or before the next reaction, I should say, in case I stream like in 2 days. But I meant to go make it so I can have the super chats actually pop up while I talk about them, you know. So like right now, whenever I bring up the first one, I can actually show you what I'm talking about, because I'm going back like 45 minutes, and I always thought that would be, you know, an awesome benefit, because like this one's showing up right now from Mr. Bushido, but I want to pull up the ones I'm actually talking about actively. But I forgot to set that up, so next reaction, I got you guys. That'll be a little bit better. But anyways, Mr. Bushido, I saw that one. John Stoops with the $5 super chat. Chopper is in the vicinity of Imu. Curious to see if he ends up clashing with Imu at all. Will he really be a counter to Imu full stop, or just Domi Reversi? Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting you bring that up, John, because now that Chopper is being brought over to the library, it makes me wonder if Oda is trying to have him avoid that for a while, right? Like, maybe Chopper will have some secret to stopping all this because of the Domi Reversi stuff, but Oda's going to keep him kind of locked away for a little bit, so he can't do that until, like, the right moment. I might start thinking about that, because it is kind of interesting that Chopper's getting taken away, you know? And like I said, though, please, Chopper, please, talk to Biblo. I don't care if you ask him what his favorite food is, what his birthday is, ask him whatever you want. I just need you to talk to Biblo at some point. I just need it. It has to happen. We cannot miss this opportunity. So yeah, I don't think Chopper will be like a, you know, counter to Imu or anything like that. But I do think whatever is going on between him and Domi Reversi will help the rest of the crew stop Imu, if that makes sense. Like whatever the weakness to Imu is, assuming there is one, I think Chopper's going to help us get there, but he won't necessarily be the one to do it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Chopper does next for sure. Anihime with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Imu's personal beef with the Ace, Sabo, and Luffy brothers is interesting to me. Completely agree. Was Joy Boy a sworn brother of Imu as well? Those comments toward them stood out to me. I'm so glad you brought that up, because on a few different streams now, I brought up the idea, and not that I'm like the first one to ever bring this up, but I just really like the idea that Joy Boy, Imu, and maybe Davy Jones were like Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. Like they all, you know, grew up together, or maybe had roughly the same dream, but went about it 3 completely separate ways, right? And maybe they even ended up becoming enemies by the end at some point, or something like that. And so the fact that he brought them up, that definitely, I feel like, opened the door to that whole theory that like Imu was a sworn brother with Joy Boy and Davy Jones, assuming Joy Boy and Davy Jones are separate people, which I think the jury's still out, but they're probably different people. But so yeah, I honestly, I think with the way that Oda's trickled in the Joy Boy stuff, where Imu gets these like little flashbacks to him, and like they've even called each other, like it's starting to feel like they were closer than we think. Like they weren't just purely enemies, right? And so the fact he's bringing up like his, Luffy's, annoying brothers, it is very interesting. It definitely is. It is very interesting. Knack Talk with the one gifted membership. Knack, my guy, thank you, brother. Seriously, thank you. I'm glad everyone counts. Everyone counts. And you know what? Let me see. I was about to say I wanted to see if I had any memberships to match you with, but I don't. I've already given up my 10 free ones this month. But either way, I appreciate you, Knack. Thank you, brother. But yeah, Anihime, the three brother thing, that is like that is so interesting that Emu is like even cares about that. You know what I mean? That he even brought it up, and he like, how did he put it? Let me see. Yeah, he said like, what an ill-mannered trio of siblings. Like the fact he even has thought about them and how much he doesn't like them and stuff. Like, I don't know. It's very interesting. It's definitely going somewhere for sure. B-Plot with the $2 super chat. Howardine and Loki with Hakoku sovereignty would rock. I love that idea. That I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of that. I don't know like what their like what the attack would do. Like, is that how they're gonna send Emu out of here? Like that feels kind of crazy. If Howardine actually ends up having a role in sending Emu out of here, that would be, I don't even know. That would, it could be cool, but that would be kind of crazy. But yeah, I like the idea. I mean, one of the coolest things they could do, I don't know if it makes sense this arc, but remember when Dorian Brogy said the only thing they can't break is the red line or the serpent soaked in blood? Well, if Howardine and Loki teamed up and they did break the red line, that could be a really cool way to bring it full circle, with also not building this insane thing where Howardine is like defeating Emu in any capacity. You know, that would be insane. That would be a sign as clear as day that we all just need to have boundless confidence. Because if Howardine can come in here and declare he's gonna, what exactly did he say? Hold on. I'm going to take him down. If he says that and he actually backs it up, I mean, y'all, we can accomplish anything. I'm serious. Like that would be crazy. So I'm leaning more towards the red line, but either way, I do want to see that. I think them working together would be awesome. Mr. Bushido with the €5. All these swords are named after legendary swords from mythology. And then there's Usopp mentioning Excalibur. Emu's garden swords will be Tenebrous Lucifer sword. Yeah, if you or anybody else, if you guys have some like other sword, like mythological swords that could, end up filling in the rest of the names, because we still have like over 10 of them, right? Because let's see, it was Summers who had the whole list of them, right? Tohu, Bohu, Nemesis, Longinus, Stigma, Muramasa. Yeah, so we still have like over 10. In grams, that's 7. We still have like 12-ish of the blades. Or we also saw, I can't remember. We got a lot of swords left. So if y'all got some theories, definitely put them in the Discord for sure. But yeah, with Usopp mentioning Excalibur, that is interesting. Like, it was interesting before, but now that we got to look at it through this context, where some of these like legendary swords from various mythologies in our world are now coming into the One Piece world in a big way, there might actually be an Excalibur somewhere, you know what I mean, in the One Piece sword. And maybe it's actually going to matter. I don't know. I think that would be sick. I don't really know like what that context would be, but it feels like the chance of that, actually mattering just went way up, I feel like. Sinbad sword. Durandal. Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, so Durandal is Cavendish's sword, but it was also it's also like the name of a famous sword from real life. So I wonder if that also, I see you guys talking about it in the chat. I wonder if that also is going to tie in. Because if you guys saw my video from like a month ago now, I can't remember. But I talked a lot about like the weird eyes in the story, and you know, Cavendish also has weird eyes because he had multicolored eyes when he was controlling Hakuba, right? And so his sword kind of tying into the same theme is interesting. But let's see. Gonna go back to the super chats here. Everything froze. There we go. I think we're good. John Stoops 6029. So you got 2 in a row here, John. Thank you very much, brother. For $2. So is Lily's sword out there, the 20th blade? I didn't even think about that, but great question. It definitely is. And this gives way more reason to why she didn't put the sword there. Like, I think originally it was looked at just like, oh, well, she didn't become one of the 20, so she left, and that's it. It's just a symbol of her not joining. But now that the swords are this important, hers is out there somewhere. I'm trying to think of like where this would come into play, because like Vivi is not like a sword user. I mean, she's done the Peacock Slasher, which I guess is like a blade or, you know, whatever, but not really. Huh. I don't know. Like, one of my first thoughts is like, well, maybe Zoro gets it, because that would be like if Zoro were to get one of the original 20 blades, that would probably be the easiest for him to obtain. But I don't even know if that's like even really necessary or where Oda would go. Like maybe Koza would get it for some reason to make him relevant again. I don't know. But yeah, that blade's got to be out there. Annie Hime, you said, oh my gosh, so the Nefertari family has an OP-ass sword back at the palace? Exactly. Exactly. Like, well, maybe it's at the palace. I would imagine it is, but they may have also put it somewhere else for safekeeping, you know? In Time Lord, you said, where's the Don Quixote's sword? Yeah, I'm curious on that too. Like, which one is theirs and how does that tie into, you know, everything else? Yeah, man, that's definitely a theory I want to hear some thoughts on, like in the Discord or maybe in the comments or whatever, if you guys think of anything later, because that's blowing my mind on how much that matters. And like I don't know, there's so many fun possibilities with it. That's something I really want to hear Randy's thoughts on. If whenever Randy Troy goes live on Sunday, I will probably be there, because you know, he's a big Lily and just Alabasta guy in general. And once he hears this, I'm very curious on where he thinks that could go, because he's probably gonna have some good thoughts on it for sure. Yeah, my mind's kind of blown. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. Her sword is with Pluton, maybe. Veneers? I don't think it's really veneers, like the teeth, but Vin erase. I don't know how to say it. Sorry, Vin, but I like that idea, because obviously the Pluton poneglyph was in Alabasta, right? So it would kind of make sense that, like, if Alabasta is already home to information on where to find one dangerous weapon, then they may, you know, I don't know if they would put the other dangerous weapon with Pluton, or maybe they would go put it somewhere else, but them hiding it away somewhere in general would make sense. Man, my mind's blown. I love that. I really love that. I know John Stoops has another one, but I also just saw, now, since we were pretty much on the topic, Lucas, Lonely Mage with the $5 super chat, Excalibur in One Piece, Fool. And now I do not know this reference, but I did see Time Lord said goated Soul Eater reference, which I have not seen Soul Eater, and that is my fault. So, I need to get more cultured for sure. But either way, thank you very much, Lonely Mage. I hope there's an Excalibur in One Piece. I think that'd be sick. I mean, let me scroll back down. I mean, Oda is naming him like the same exact name, right? Yeah, so Longinus is the name of the spear. Yeah, because the kanji means these other things, like Spear of Holy Life. But yeah, Longinus was like the name that of the sword or the blade that killed Jesus and stuff. So he is taking the direct name from these other myths. So it'd be kind of sick. It'd be kind of sick if there was an Excalibur. Law Sauce McGee, member for 42 months. Like D-Stream, my dudes. Law Sauce, thank you very much, brother. Seriously. Appreciate you. Crazy chapter. Dude, wait. 42 months, bro. 3.5 years, Law Sauce. That's insane, bro. Thank you again, seriously, for all your support, brother. Chinho Wong, you said Soul Eater has a sword named Excalibur, but turned into a joke character. Honestly, though, the fact that Usopp is the one who brought up Excalibur makes this potential meme connection very realistic, I feel like. Like, if there is an Excalibur, it'll probably be something a little wacky, you know, to fit in with the themes of One Piece and Usopp and stuff. So honestly, I feel like Oda could definitely mirror that a little bit for sure. John Stoops, back to your super chats. For $5 for the second one. Got a bad feeling that the cover story page may be a bad foreshadowing. I still think Zoro and Sanji will win, but I wouldn't guarantee it after this chapter. You know, it's kind of funny where, like, Oda definitely made the fight seem even more daunting between, like, for Zoro and Sanji. Especially for Zoro, because, like, Zoro can already use conquerors and stuff, right? And so, for him to learn, like, oh, he's got, like, these really important blades. You know, I thought I had an important sword, with Enma being one of the 21 great grades and being able to, like, pull my hockey out or whatever. But now even he kind of is realizing he has a bigger challenge than he thought, and Sanji kind of already knew that. But yeah, the cover, I mean, if you go back there, yeah, it is like they're all beat up, right? Like they're all really hurt. Even though Oda made it more daunting this chapter, I almost feel like this extra layer of challenge to it almost makes me more confident they're gonna win, because it's like, I don't. It's also with Luffy, like, you know, with Scopper jumping in and kind of saving the day. It's like Oda's definitely laying the groundwork for showing us that, like, these will be some of the toughest battles they've ever had to fight, sort of thing, right? But I feel like Zoro and Sanji gotta get through it. Luffy, I mean, I don't think Luffy's gonna be able to, like, beat Imu, you know, but I don't know, man. Maybe the cover is some foreshadowing. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, if we do lose, it's going to be like a kind of like a Saba Odi situation. You know, we'll lose and then barely evacuate in time and then come back. But I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope so. Hopefully we can just kick some of these guys out of here. Mr. Bushido, I believe you're next for €2, I believe. Yep. We will see Cleome Soleus, the Irish Sword of Light. I'll look it up real quick. Hold on. Let me... Because you say Cleome, and I'm thinking... Clover. Cleome Soleus is a name of a sword. The Sword of Light, or Clay... I don't know how to say... They have it spelled differently than Cleome. Is a trope object that appears in a number of Irish and Scottish Gaelic folk tales. The Quest of the Sword of Light. Formula is catalog, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That'd be kind of cool, honestly. And the fact that it's called Cleome, thus tying to Clover, which would make sense, because, like Clover, like that ties to Irish, you know, like the Shamrock and all that kind of stuff. So it would kind of make sense that all these things would merge anyway. Hey, I'm down. I'm down for a Sword of Light. Oda seems to already like the Irish connections, right? Because wasn't there... Yeah, Fragorok, a magical sword of Irish mythology. So he's already done it. So, yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. I like that one. Anihime with the $2 super chat. Gabon looked kind of scared at the end. We're cooked. You know, it's... it's funny because, like, personally, I don't know if he looks scared, but I do think he is a little scared. Like, I got, like, just the vibe of the situation. And, like, even when you go back to earlier in the chapter, when we got that little flashback to, like, Shanks explaining the King of the World stuff to Loki, for Scopper to jump in, he clearly understands the task at hand. Like, he knows that this is the King of the World and how tough he is to beat and all this stuff, right? Like, he understands because he was here for that conversation. So again, I don't know if I would agree that he, like, looks scared, but I 100% agree that it feels like he's probably a little scared. Like, I'm sure he's coming in, you know, confident, ready to talk some smack, whatever. But I think, like, internally he knows, like, I'm probably cooked. Like, I'm probably jumping in to get Luffy out of here, and I'm probably not making it out myself. Like, I feel really worried about Scopper's chances here, because, like I said, he's got to know this is a taller task than anything he's probably dealt with before, you know. He's definitely crapping his pants in that last panel. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree. Like I don't think he's gonna show it on his face to, like, you know, let Imu feel too confident. But I think internally, yeah, no, he's definitely crapping his pants, 100%. That's for sure. That, like, he did this solely to protect Luffy, not because he thought he had a chance, you know, to win, for sure. Bushido, I see you got 3 in a row here. Thank you very much, Bushido. First off, Polo/Marco Graham equal Graham sword. Yeah, the Graham name is interesting because the first thing that comes to mind for me is definitely the 21 grams of soul, you know, like an actual gram, especially because at least the one blade that Imu was using, I presume all of them are this way. They, you know, use life force or whatever. How did he put it? Let me go back up there and find it. This sword feeds on life force, so I'm guessing they all do. And it, you know, now that I think about it a little bit too, saying this sword feeds on life force, couldn't you easily argue that Enma also fed on life force? Like, maybe not quite as explicitly as it is here for Imu, but, like, Enma was sucking out Zoro's haki the entire time and forcing him to basically level up and start using conquerors and stuff, right? You could almost say it was feeding off of life force in that way. Very different style, but, like, I think there's got to be a connection there somewhere. I don't know what exactly it is or what that could tell us about the origins of Enma, which Enma's name is, like, King of Hell, so all this stuff I feel like is kind of merging, you know, the life force, the abyss, underworld stuff. Like, I don't know. I am 10 times as intrigued by Zoro versus Summers now than I was before this started. I will say that. I actually just did a collab with Sai, and we were kind of talking about that, like what's about to happen here with Summers to make that fight stand out, because Zoro or Sanji has the Conqueror's Haki thing. What is Summers going to do? Well, the sword focus is definitely going a long way to answering that, you know. So yeah, anyway, to go back to your question, Bushido, about Polo or Marco Graham, I don't think they're going to end up, you know, connecting to each other, but I don't know. Even if, now that I even think about it there, it's interesting that he named him Polo Graham when at least Marco had, you know, the Phoenix fruit, which is like you're coming back to life. So that's sort of soul connected as well. And again, going back to the 21 grams of soul, I don't know if there is something there that all the people named Graham tie to the soul in some way, you know, but interesting nonetheless, for sure. Then you also said 9 out of 10, Dax a hater. Look, man, 9's very good. That's an A-, at least on the US grading scale. It's an A-. I think it's the lowest A you could get, a 90%. So, you know, that's still pretty good. It might be a 9.5. It might be, but I don't know, man. The chapters are just so hype. I can't give a 10 every week, or else the ratings are meaningless, you know. So I'm gonna stick with my 9, maybe like a 9.2. It would be a 9.5 if LeBron chose Cleveland, but that's an automatic minus 0.3 at least. It should be a minus like 2.3 for all the scores. So you got to blame LeBron for that one. Then also you said Mock Vice is very strong. Haradine deserves respect. Come on now, man. That one's cap. Of all your super chats, that one's cap. Mock Vice is very strong. All Mock Vice is very heavy when he decides to. Well, he's pretty heavy all the time, but he can be even heavier when he decides to. So that one's cap. That one's cap. Cloud Lizard, $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Cloud Lizard. Luffy is going to need to accept his deal with the Grand Fleet. Seems Omen is an ability based on deals or devotion. Luffy's Corona equal Hagoromo plus Straw Hat. Luffy's Corona? I'm a little confused. If you're in the chat, let me know what you meant. I feel like I'm just missing it. I'm just not understanding. Luffy's Corona. You know, I mean, all I can think about is like coronavirus, you know. So that's the only thing that can even fill my mind, or the drink, which I don't think that's it either. But as far as needing to accept his deal with the Grand Fleet, I don't know. It's tough because it's like, what's the Grand Fleet even going to do, like, in this situation, right? Like, even if they knew he was hurt and they headed over here, like, what realistically, what are they even going to do? You know, like, it would almost feel too crazy or too much like an ass pull if they actually came and did anything. You know what I mean? So, for me, I feel like they're not the answer, but I mean, I don't know who else is. I still like the idea that Dragon shows up, you know, but I don't know. The Grand Fleet, I really don't know what Oda is thinking with them. I mean, I'll be pumped whenever it happens because I love the fleet, but I've always kind of thought they gotta just be like doing their own separate thing away from Luffy, but it's still important in the grand scheme of things, you know, like protecting Shirahoshi, right? And then as far as the Corona, I think I saw some people saying like a rotating aura of light. Hold on, the chat froze on the main YouTube thing I have open, so I couldn't see the answers, but I saw them as they were flying by, but now they're gone. So give me a second. That doesn't want to load. There we go. I think I'm back. Hit this his circle thing. Oh, it's the Omen thing, you mean? Is that what you guys are? It's a Catholic crown, like a halo. Halo is Corona. Corona is a ring of light that's radiating off of it, kind of. Corona is the edge of the sun in an eclipse, a radiating aura of light, or like outside the sun. At first I thought that I was gonna know what it meant, and now I feel like I am not sure what you meant, K Raven. I don't know if you're still here or not. Oh yes, there you are. Look up Mother Mary and her Corona. Looks like Emu and his Omen. Okay. I just looked up Mary Corona and I got a bunch of random LinkedIn results. Mary and her Corona. That will maybe be better. Nope. The AI answer thinks I'm talking about coronavirus. Every result I'm getting is about COVID-19. I might need you to like, okay, here, if I go to images, I can see. Okay. I mean, for me, I'm not sure if, you know, Luffy even really like needs anything like this. So I mean, like, I think it'd be cool if something like that happened. I'm not sure if anything like that would ever happen, you know? Like, I don't know if Luffy... For one thing, altering the Straw Hat feels a little... Or, like, replacing it in any way would feel a little iffy. But then again, that could also be why the Straw Hat's important, is maybe it is tied to something bigger than we thought. You know, kind of like we just learned that these 19 swords are way more important than we thought, despite them sitting in front of us how many panels now, you know? So, I mean, I don't really know, but... I don't know, maybe I just don't know enough about the Corona. There are a lot of really dope pictures of it, I will say. Plenty of those. Also some that are kind of funny, but... And still so many LinkedIn... responses. There's so many Merry Coronas in the world, guys. That's not that. If there's one thing to take away from the stream, that's something to take away. Also, Steve Irwin, you said hello, everyone. I have returned. How are you? How are you, cousin of mine? I'm doing well, my cousin. If you guys didn't know, my cousin is Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin 4477. That is. But thank you for showing up, bro. I appreciate you. See, Chin Ho Wong with the 6 MYR. MYR, like Malaysian something? I gotta look it up. Malaysian Ringgit? I don't know. But I was right that it was Malaysia. So shout out Chin Ho Wong. I'm glad that I at least knew that part. Biblo to Chopper. I've been expecting you, Forest God. Oh my god, if... Guys, if Chopper walks into the library and Biblo looks at him and speaks English or Japanese, English to us, whatever, and says, I've been expecting you, Forest God, I will ascend immediately. I will fly through my roof, rapture to heaven, and you will never see me ever again. That would be such a amazing moment. There'd be so much lore to drop, right? Where Biblo's got to just start talking, which is maybe my favorite part about the whole thing, is we're going to get some Biblo lore, like how he knows about all this stuff. But my God, if that happens, you will not see a happier YouTuber than me. That would be amazing. That would genuinely be amazing. B-Plot, you said, Dak didn't know you were Australian because Steve Irwin's your cousin. Yep. Yeah, it's true, guys. It's true. My yeah, we used to live in Australia, but then Steve got real big, and then he started then he bought us all, our houses. He made sure we were taken care of. Appreciate you, Steve, for always taking care of the family, Very nice of you, Steve. Yeah, if what you just said, Chin Ho Wong, happens and we get some Biblo, Chopper, Forest God stuff, it was nice knowing you guys, but I will be in heaven for rest of eternity. Alexander Fiorello with the $5 super chat. Alex, you also have another super chat after this. Appreciate you. By the way, I didn't get to respond, but I did see your message, and it was amazing. I don't know if you want me to tell everyone what your message was. But I saw the picture you sent me, and I just forgot to answer because I really don't look at my DMs at all when the spoilers are out, unless like it's someone I trust. So I did look at yours, but then I just forgot. But it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, by the way. Just want to let you know. But you said, "Yo, Dak, what if Gabon is about to be close to as powerful as he was in his prime? He said he was rusty with Conquerors. So what if it's time? What if his time out?" What if his hockey blooms because he's warmed up, basically? I would like that, because, like, if this is going to be where Scopper dies, which it doesn't have to be, Oda never kills anybody, we all know this, whatever. But if it is going to be where Scopper dies, I do think something like that would make a lot of sense, where we get to see, like, a crazy... ending attack from Scopper where he like puts everything he has into it. Maybe he reaches a new level, or maybe he pulls sort of like a Lao G, or maybe a little bit like a Hyogoro where they channel back to their prime for a little bit, in their final moments or whatever. I think that'd be great. I think that would actually be really great. And if we're going to go the Lao G route, because I think he's like the really appropriate example here, to be honest, and it's a little bit self-serving here, but I talked a lot about how Chopper, basically Lao G uses Qigong, which is very similar to Life Return, or semi-Qigong. And I've been bringing this up for a bunch of different theories for a long time. I think this is going to be the secret behind what Chopper's doing to stop Domi Reversi and all that. And this would be a good way to tie that in, if that's true. Again, that's just a theory. We'll see if that all matters, if Life Return even is going to come back in any capacity. But if Life Return is going to be a big deal, that would be the perfect way to bring it back, is maybe Scopper is like he knows how to do it, because he can bring some of his youth back or whatever, but it'll kill him, to make this final stand or whatever. I think that'd be a cool way to bring it back. It could be a cool send-off for Scopper. And, there's been this theory for a while about Scopper maybe being tied to Drum Kingdom, because that's might be where he got the Mountain Eater epithet, because obviously he was protecting Roger when he was sick and seeing the doctor, and obviously Drum Island has the doctors, and there's all sorts of stuff to that theory. But if there's a cool way to kind of merge Scopper and Chopper's stories, I think that would be it, like a Life Return Qigong sort of thing, and Chopper can learn something from it or whatever, right? So I actually really like it. I think there's a lot of ways that could work for sure. And then you also, for $2, said Igaram kills Emu with the Nefertari sword. Cinema. Man, we were talking earlier about Haradin having too much confidence in himself. If Igaram thinks he even has a chance to take out Emu, if Igaram is near Emu and he even tries to take him out, that's even more wild. I mean, not that, I think Igaram will do whatever it takes to try to save Vivi if necessary, right? If push really came to shove. But man, you want to talk about baseless confidence, man, that would be insane if Igaram did that. But with that being said, it would be kind of cool if Igaram was the one who had the missing sword for some reason. They trusted him with it. I don't, it's hiding in his hair or something like that, right? I think that'd be kind of funny. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right. Lonely Mage, I already said that one. Excalibur in One Piece. Lol Sauce, I said that one. Anihime with the $5 super chat. Can't wait to see the ASL childhood version with Joy Boy being Luffy as the little brother to Emu being Sabo, and Davy Jones being Ace, a brotherhood gone wrong. Yep. And that's probably how I would view it too. Well, I might have to think about that a little bit. Because, I do think Oda would mirror the three brothers with those three, if that's, the route that he's going to take. But I also strongly think that Joy Boy is going to be an amalgamation of all three of the brothers. Obviously he'll be a lot like Luffy, but I think he's going to look like Ace and have the upbringing of Sabo. So I think Joy Boy is going to be all three brothers in a way. But with that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that Emu and Davy Jones wouldn't tie to them either. But for Davy Jones, I would almost say that he should be more like a Blackbeard, right? Because it feels like those two are definitely, well, they're related, but they're going to be tied to each other. But then again, you've mentioned Davy Jones could be like Ace. Well, Ace and Blackbeard are obviously deeply connected. I mean, they're opposites, but still. So it could be kind of fitting if you made Davy Jones be like Ace because of that, right? If the past Blackbeard was kind of like Ace in certain ways, that is a very, intriguing plot line as well. So I mean, I would like the way you broke it down. I'm not sure if that's exactly what he would do. Because, for Emu, you could definitely look at it the same way as Sabo, where Sabo was like born into riches, didn't really like it, wanted to change it, so he left, became a revolutionary, and now the revolutionaries are essentially what the 20 Kings were, right? Like they're amassing all these different countries to work with them and go against the status quo. It's basically what the 20 Kings were doing. It's just, you know, we haven't gotten to like a Void Century-esque war about it yet. But the thing about that is we know that Joy Boy was for sure born into the Ancient Kingdom, right? Because Vegapunk mentioned that. And so we know that Joy Boy is going to have this thing of being born into riches. I don't know if his family will be like rich and powerful, but he was at least born into a rich kingdom, a bountiful kingdom, I think is how they put it. So I think Joy Boy's definitely going to have some shades of Sabo no matter what. Emu, I'm not really sure. I could see the Sabo angle, but I could also see like Emu's just from like a different planet or something, you know, like something completely out of left field in comparison to the three brothers. So I'm not really sure. But I think Oda's definitely calling back to that in some way. I feel so sure about it. I almost want to do a video about it. I think people have already done videos on it. I have to like go double check and see kind of where they were going with it. But I have long thought about making a thumbnail that has Joy Boy, Emu, and Davy Jones sharing sake cups, just like the three brothers, you know? So I was like, that thumbnail would cook, and I mean, just the video, like the content of it would be a good video too. But I think people have already covered that before. But I mean, it feels like that's definitely where Oda's going for sure. Let's see, Mr. Bushido, I believe you're next. For €2, look up Joyu's sword. I don't know how to say that at all, but Joy Euse sword of Charlemagne. Again, I don't know how to say this, but it's the legendary personal sword of the Frankish Emperor Charlemagne, famously used in French royal coronations for centuries. A surviving composite artifact identified as Joyeuse, however you say that, is currently housed in a museum. So that's cool. Hey, I mean, at this point, it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like every sword I get sent, I'm gonna think is like, you know, there's a good chance of it. I'm gonna go back down to this list of swords real quick. So we got one from a Chinese god. We got one from Norse mythology. We got one from Christianity. We got one from Irish mythology. We got one from the Hebrew Bible. The other ones are just kind of like, one's a Japanese swordsmith. So I think somewhat similar to the Gorosei to a degree. I do think Oda is going to be picking swords from like all sorts of various myths and religions and locations and stuff. So like, for instance, we already have one Irish sword. Not that the one you just mentioned was, but like, I think I don't know if we'll get another Irish sword since we already have one, you know? I don't know if we'll get another like Christianity focused blade because we have one, but because like if you go to the Gorosei, I can't remember all of them, but like a lot of them were from like different types of mythologies, right? Like the sandworm, I don't even know what that's from. It's like a more open myth, I think. But some were like Chinese, some were Japanese or whatever. So like Oda kind of picked some like myths from different areas. So I think he's definitely going to do the same with the swords. Like he's going to pick all sorts of different inspirations. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one sounds cool. The Joyeuse, however you say that, it sounds cool. I'm down. Joyeuse means sword of joy. In that case, it should be maybe the Nefertaris, because it's like they're the good guys. You know what I mean? But I feel like the Nefertari's sword has to be like an Egyptian blade, right? I'm gonna look this up. Hold on. The Egyptian sword. Oh yeah, it's got to be one of these like scimitar things, you know, like, or Kopesh sword, as they, I think, is that that's what I keep seeing. I don't really know what they're called, but that's just the first name that popped up. It's got to be one of those. If there is an Alabasta one, it's got to be one of these. And it's so funny thinking about this, because like, for those of you who've played RuneScape, you know that the scimitar store is in Al Kharid. It's in the desert. So if you want to go get one of these, you know, curved blades, you got to go to the desert. And so it should have came to my mind immediately that this would be what the Nefertaris would be like. If the Nefertaris isn't one of these like curved blade things, I'm gonna be distraught. It's gotta be. Yeah, or Kopesh. I don't know what the right term is. I always say scimitar just because of RuneScape, but whatever it is, that curved blade, it's got to be one of those for the Nefertari, for sure. That'd be so sick. And honestly, if it is one of these, I could see a world where it's like kind of smaller, and then I mean maybe Vivi does use it. Like maybe Vivi uses it almost like a peacock slasher. Like she can put it on a string and throw it and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like maybe there is a world where she's just the one who uses it. Al Kharid equal Arabasta confirmed. Oh, that's long been confirmed. Look, if you played RuneScape, you know. You know. Dragon Scimitar goated. Oh, dude, the dragon Scimitar in RuneScape is maybe the second most iconic RuneScape weapon of all time, with the number one being the Abyssal Whip. The Abyssal Whip is untouchable in terms of iconicness, but the Dragon Scimitar is a close second for sure. And like, you know, if we really wanted to put on our theory brains, if they want to make you know, the Nefertari's blade, if it is a scimitar, if they want to like imbue it with a dragon fruit, so then it is also a dragon scimitar, that would become my favorite weapon in One Piece, bar none. So I'm down. Let's see, 3D704. I think I'm saying that name right. With the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Here late, but can't wait to go back and see your raw reaction to Big Moo's brutality. Yeah, and honestly, I feel like I didn't really react much to the brutality aspect, but I probably should have, because like, I mean, guys, like Luffy was just getting like impaled like over and over, right? Like, and it is interesting to note that he stayed in Gear 5 the entire time. You know, so Imu's brutality is kind of crazy, right? Like, I really want to see the Void Century part of this. Like just how bad was it? Like, how ruthless was Imu back then? How many, like, horrible things did he really do? Like, because, like, yes, wiping out, you know, genocide's horrible. Using the Lelucia weapon or whatever ancient weapons in the past to wipe out civilizations, horrible, right? But there's almost like a little bit of a difference between like what we saw at Lelucia, where you just like launch a nuke, and these things where he's like face to face with the person he's killing and he's like stabbing him again and again slowly. It's like, you know, they're very different, but they both like hit you in different ways, you know what I mean? So I really want to see in the Void Century how ruthless he had to be. Like how many how many families did he kill right in front of their faces and stuff, right? Like, remember when Shamrock just cut down Magnolia and then, you know, took the kids? Well, she actually ended up living, lived for a little bit and then died. But like, it's that kind of stuff. Like, how many times was he face to face with people and just did horrible things, you know? Like, that's what I really want to see from the Void Century. But yeah, Imu is crazy, man. Imu, I'm a huge fan, as weird as that is to say, because obviously I'm not a fan of him as like a person, but as a character, man, Emu's top tier. Cloud Lizard with the $2 super chat. Probably need to watch Tashigi's Dream a bit closer. You're cooking. Dude, that did not cross my mind, but you are cooking. If there is one character... Okay, well, the way I was about to say the statement's kind of crazy, but I'll say it anyway. If there's one character who maybe had, like, their stocks rise the most this chapter, it might actually be Tashigi. It, like... Because her dream was always, like, cool. You know, it was like a token cool thing. Like, okay, well... I'm glad somebody's focused on the swords, and then we can learn more about them from her or whatever. But now that this has happened, like, yeah, man, Tashigi, her stocks are way up now in terms of just, like, importance or role in everything that's about to go down, right? Like, Tashigi, wow, that did not cross my mind until you said it, but yeah, wow. Tashigi just got way more interesting. Way more interesting. Steve Irwin, you said, hey, cuz I'm getting off here. I'll text you later. Take care, everyone. Have a great, safe weekend. Steve, I appreciate you, man. Stay safe out there. Thank you for stopping in. We got to play some video games this weekend, man. I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up if you're even still here. B-plot, Tashigi can definitely step up and collect the swords, even if she doesn't actually defeat Imu or something. Yeah, like, because she definitely won't. I think we've passed the Rubicon on Tashigi being like a powerful fighter or whatever in the future. And hey, you know, if any Tashigi fans out there, like Knack, I'm sorry to say it, but like I think we're past that point. I don't know if Tashigi is ever gonna like be a threat, but if she goes around and collects some of these blades, and maybe she's like trying to figure out what they are, because maybe she like grabs them. Like, I don't know how this would all exactly work, but just if we're going to go into like some theory zone here, some headcanon stuff, maybe Luffy falls down, he crashes into the realm of the dead. Maybe Smoker and Tashigi are down there for some reason. Maybe they showed up because Smoker brought his box, and I don't know. Maybe all that's tying in. I don't know. But then Tashigi gets a hold of the two blades that are inside Luffy, and she goes like, huh, I've never seen these before. These look like really high-quality blades, but I haven't seen them in any of the texts. None of my books bring these up. They aren't any of the supreme grade or great grade blades or anything. I wonder what these are. And then Tashigi starts carrying around these, like, really powerful, super-duper important blades, and she doesn't even know what they really are. But by context of her picking it up, we can kind of pick up on, like, okay, like, there's not history written about these. Like, they don't really know how important they are or whatever. And then maybe Zoro or somebody later comes across her and they're like, oh my god, wait, how do you have this? This is crazy. I can sense the aura coming off of it. I need that sword right now. And then that's how Zoro or somebody important gets a hold of them. I don't know. But look, I think that would be awesome. Tashigi starting to collect these blades and she doesn't even know what they are, and that leads to other people getting them and stuff. Like, I want that. I want Tashigi to be more important. That's sick. That, like, the possibilities are endless with that, genuinely. That blows my mind, man. That might be the most mind-blowing thing of today, to be honest. 319 Swagger with the $2 super chat. Appreciate you, Swagger. Nightmare Luffy mixed with Gear 5, just a theory. I completely agree with you 100,000,000%. That's been my agenda. I just spilled a bunch of TCG cards all over my desk, but that's all right. That's always been my agenda, is like, if there is going to be a Gear 5 power up, it's going to be Nightmare Gear 5, not like Gear 6 or anything. So many different ways that Oda could do it. But I agree that it would be so sick, for one thing. It would be so awesome to see Nightmare Luffy come back, but even stronger because of Gear 5. And maybe they even put more shadows than last time, because last time I think he did 100. Maybe they give him 1,000 this time or something. Maybe they give him even more powerful shadows. Like maybe the crew gives up their shadows or something like that. I don't know. But I want that. And I think that would, I don't know how it would happen, but that would be a cool way to get out of this mess. Like, to get Imu off the island, Luffy has to go Nightmare Gear 5. And maybe it's something that, like, he can't tap into again, because maybe, like, maybe Moria shows up for some reason and it's a very happenstance thing, but I don't really know how that would all work. But I've always been a huge Nightmare Gear 5 fan, and I always will be. If that, like, it's one thing if Luffy gets a power up in addition to this, but I'll be shocked if Oda doesn't revisit Nightmare Luffy to show us a Gear 5 form. Like, I just think that is so cool, and people liked Nightmare Luffy so much that we should see it at least once, even if it's not like the end all be all, you know, even if it's just to help us get out of this mess. I think we got to see it. We have to. And then Mr. Bushido again. Oh, I already read this one earlier, but Joyuz means sword of joy. Yeah, man, I'm down for the Joyuz. If I'm even saying that right, I'm probably not. But I mean, I'm down. There's so many cool blades, and we still have like 12 more to go. So I'm down. I'm definitely down. But all right, I think we just I think I just got caught up on all the super chats, I believe. Well, I just got another one from Isaac Gavey. Isaac, I will get to that one in just a second. Very good timing, I gotta say. I just want to make sure I did not miss anything real quick. So I think on Streamlabs I'm caught up, but yeah, Lol Sauce, I did mention that one. Knack Talk, I did mention that one. All right, cool. Cool. Isaac, for $5, he said, what do you think of this theory I heard that Sanji's conquerors allowed the medicine from his mother to work? So you're saying like in the womb, whenever she took that medicine, the reason why Sanji was the only one who became normal is because he has conquerors? Is that what you're getting at? So like even when he was a baby, it was kind of like shining through. I like it. I don't know if I would necessarily, you know, bet any money on it, but I really like it. Like, that is a very cool way to go about it, because not only would that like gives some actual reasoning as to why it's Sanji, because like it could have been any of the brothers. Why Sanji? Is it just randomness or whatever? I would like that, because it would also show that like he's actually been better than his brothers from the beginning, right? Sort of thing. Like he's always been better than them, even when they were kids and they were faster and stronger and whatever. He's actually always been the GOAT. Like, I like that whole angle to it. But I also would like the angle to it where we're going to learn more about the origin of conquerors and stuff, right? Like, because, like, I feel like it's always been said, like, you're kind of born a conqueror. Like, you know, like, it's just a temperament thing. Like, you're either born with it or you're not. And if it's the case where Sanji, like, had it as a baby, so to speak, or had, like, the temperament to potentially unlock it as a baby, it would just sort of develop that plot line more about what it really means to be a conqueror, or like, can you develop it over time, or do you actually have to be born with it, sort of thing, right? Like, it would just develop that story more. So I love it. I'm a fan of it, and I hope that ends up being true. Then Adam L with the $2. Tashigi was an Alabasta. Maybe she found Lily's sword. That's an interesting thing to think about too. Or maybe she at least saw it somewhere. Like, maybe she was, you know, walking around the castle or some sword shop, kind of like the Ippon Matsu thing. Because remember, he had like a cursed blade in his shop, even though like he probably shouldn't. Like, it shouldn't have been that cheap, especially. So maybe it's a similar thing where she found it somewhere where it shouldn't have been, and she, like, be crazy if she just took it. But even if she, like, wrote a note about it or whatever, you know, drew a picture of it in her little book. I love that, man. That would be really cool. Man, the Tashigi hype, man. I wasn't expecting it, but Tashigi hype. Shout out to Knack in the chat if he is. I don't even know if he is here. He was here earlier, but he's the number one Tashigi fan that I'm aware of. So, you know, he shout out to him. And then Isaac Gavey with the 3-month member message. Appreciate you, Isaac. You said it worked kind of like Enma. Yes. So I don't know if you were here for that part, but I did mention that like a little bit ago. I can't remember. I was kind of rambling, but yes. And that is super important, I think, right? Because Enma sucked out Zoro's Haki, and Haki is kind of like life force. It's like a different form of it. Like, I would say soul or lifespan is more directly that, but Haki's kind of tied to it. And it is very similar to that, right? And so now it makes me wonder what the origin of blades like that is, because like Enma, we were told like, oh, it has a mind of its own. That's just the way it is. It, you know, wants a strong user, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But like, how do we get there? Like, is it just once it's forged, it automatically is doing this? Does it learn it over time? Can it like increase the amount of Haki that it's pulling in over time? Are all these blades that we're seeing, you know, from the 19 Kings or whatever, are these like Enmas that just evolve to their final form? Like, you know, what is the connection here? So I agree. There's definitely an implied connection between them, I think, for sure. Cloud Lizard for the $5. Appreciate you again, Cloud Lizard. You got a lot of likes and replies on this one already, so you must be cooking. Hype for Chopper to go to the library. Next chapter, Biblo explains that he killed Kuina so Zoro could have all the new Wano family blades. Trust. Oh, man. I know you're memeing, but like, I love it. That would be so funny, man. Biblo's just like telling Chopper like, hey man, yeah, so turns out I killed your swordsman's best friend when she was a kid. I don't know how to break this to him. You got any tips? You know, you got any? I don't want him to hate me. I don't want him to cut me as soon as I break the news to him. That would actually be so funny. I mean, I realistically, that would be the craziest thing to ever happen, but would be damn funny, man. That'd be damn funny. Where are we at now? Isaac Avey again. Isaac, thank you very much, man, for all the donations. The Water God Blade was of Vivi's lineage. Okay. So, do you mean... So, hold on. So, as far as... Do we have any... Are any of the blades directly tied to the gods thus far? I'm going to go back and reread some... Like, I know they're tied to, like, deities from their various mythologies, but I don't think any of the blades have been directly tied to the One Piece gods, have they? Oh, so, okay, so the Fraggarok, the kanji for Fraggarok is Sea God Sword. Okay, so I guess there is technically one already tied if you want to look at it that way. I don't know if it's like, you know, tying to the same sea god that we're used to, like Poseidon or whatever, but so I guess one of them kind of already does somewhat tie to a One Piece god. So maybe it would be the rain god blade if there was one, because obviously like the whole she made it rain in Alabasta thing. That'd be kind of cool. Like, the one thing I wouldn't want is for each of the god, like if there is a rain god sword, I wouldn't want that to inherently mean that like Vivi has to be the rain god too. I feel like it would almost be cooler if you like split it up, like, because a lot of us have been talking for a long time, like, you know, that, well, Lily could, or Vivi could be Uranus, for example, for the weather stuff, or maybe the rain god for the rain stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that, like, you know, Vivi could be, but if it just ends up being that she's not the rain god, but she does have the blade of the rain god, and maybe there's, like, some important connection there, I mean, that'd be cool, too. Or what if the other god fruits are imbued into the blades? Like, what if there's no sun god blade, but the other god fruits are imbued into different blades? I think that could be cool too, because if they're all Hitos, they would still like be alive. You could still meet the god and talk to them or whatever, right? But they would also be a sword. I feel like that one's a little bit, we're definitely reaching a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, at the same time, we are seeing more like living inanimate objects in a way, right? Like with Emu showing up and turning the houses alive. And then we also have Nash, which is a homie shield during this arc. And Big Mom's always been tied to this place. So like maybe it would make sense if some of these swords have like sentient devil fruits as well, you know? At least one of them. Like I would love if one of the blades can transform into a person and just talk to us. I think that would be so sick. I don't know if Oda will actually do that, but that would be so sick. Sign me up. Sign me up. Next super chat, John Stoops for $5. John, thank you again, brother. Totally unrelated, but my boss just called me off for the night. Had too many servers on. The One Piece gods want me here. Well, I hope that's okay for you. Like, I hope you weren't, you know, depending on that money too much. Because, like, I know when I was at Chipotle, it was like a 50-50 telling someone that they didn't have to come into work. Because, like, some people are like, oh, thank God, I did not want to go to work tonight. You know, whatever. I get to relax. I'm happy. Some people are like, dude, I really needed the hours. So I hope that's okay. I hope it's okay. But I do agree with you that the One Piece gods want you here. Oda wants you here. Oda called it in. That's actually what happened is Oda called the restaurant and was like, hey, you got to make sure John stays at home and gets to watch the streams and talk about the theories, you know. But yeah. Well, guys, how let's see, where are we? Almost 2 hours, of course. That's crazy. Team Mike, you said, I wonder which one is the Sun God sword. Yeah, if it ends up being that there's a sword for each god, then the Sun God sword has to be the one that Nika's always holding in the various depictions we've seen of him, right? I think that would be kind of cool. Like, that one obviously would not be a case where, like, the fruit is in the sword. But if there is a Sun God sword out there, I think it's got to be that one, right? Gotta be. Duran Ross, you said, oh no, I have to go. Love you all. Talk about good stuff. Like the stream. Doran, I appreciate you, man. It's been a while since I've seen you. I mean, I'm sure you've been in the streams here or there, but I feel like it's been a while since we've talked at least. But glad to see you here, man. Hope you're doing well. Even though you got to go, but thank you. All right, guys. So I am now caught up on the super chats. So with the last little bit of stream here, we're going to do the classic maneuver and, is it this one? Oh, yeah, this one's better. We're going to play some Pirate King Run to end the stream. Of course, if you guys got any more theory thoughts or whatever, feel free to drop them in there. But y'all know how it is. We always got to end the stream with the Pirate King Run. I have not done... I actually, like, in all seriousness, I was all ready to record this last weekend, and I was just going to do a video of me playing this and going to edit it and add lots of funny sound effects or whatever. And I woke up, and like I told you guys, I had some, you know, some bad poison ivy all over me. Well, the day that I was going to wake up and record this, I woke up and literally my eye was swollen shut with how much poison ivy I had. Thankfully, my face didn't get it that bad. It was literally just around my eye, and it's already better. But my hands got completely cooked. But either way, we're here to play this today at least, so. And we'll do the One Piece, yeah, like Time Lord said, we'll do the One Piece-ital, whatever you call it. The Wordle thing. We'll do that too after this for sure. For sure. Charlotte Lola. See, I should pass because like Lola ain't that strong, but I love Lola. I'm a huge Lola fan. Lola can be the cook on my crew. That's fine. I will accept that. Cavendish. Oh man, Hakuba's pretty useful. You can be a combatant. Zoro is the Sun God Blade incarnate. I kind of like that. That would be sort of sick. If Zoro ends up using the Sun God Blade, if there really is a Sun God Blade or whatever, that would be actually awesome. That would be awesome. Because it's like, Luffy doesn't like using swords, but if he hands Nika's sword over to Zoro, sign me up. All right, Aramaki. He's got to be captain or first mate. Like, I'm going to go first mate because if I don't get someone who's better as captain, I probably won't win anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get not him. But need to get someone better. I need to get like a Kaido or... Oh, that's my doctor. For sure. There's no question Marco's the doctor of my crew. Ah, man. It's Double Finger. Man. All right, fine. She can be one of the combatants. I feel like this crew ain't going very far. Annie Hime for $5. Oh my god, okay, I'll pass him. You said, real quick, cover image is showing me how good of a mom Nami will be one day, and Jinbei is ass for not believing in Luffy when Nami said Luffy was fine. That is interesting. Vito, oh my gosh, I'll pass on Vito. I was about to pull up the chapter real quick and go back and look at that, but I can't, because then I will... Oh, speaking of Nami, you got Bellmare. Bellmare can be the captain. I don't know about that. I want to go back and reread that the discussion between Jinbei and Nami, because we have this discussion all the time, I feel like, where the crew like kind of starts worrying about Luffy or like not believing in him, so to speak. And then like Chopper did it during the Wano raid, and then Sanji had to be like, remember all those miracles? Like, do you really think he's not going to make it now? So I want to go reread that, because I feel like this is Jinbei sort of getting used to that. Oh my gosh, I got Queen as my captain. I mean, I can't put him as archaeologist. This crew ain't even making it out of paradise. Oh my god, Daifu. Yeah, but like I said, we ain't... Well, okay, I guess it's making waves in the new world, but we didn't even get past 50%. That's not very good. Hold on, let me go... Now I can go back and look at the chapter real quick. And then we will play the One Piece Wordle thing as well, but I just gotta look at this real quick. I want to go reread the Jinbei thing. I do agree with the first part that you said, though. How it shows that, you know, like, Nami's going to be a good mom. That is, like, 100% for sure. That's, like, my favorite thing about Nami, right? Is she, even though she's not a mom now, she's like a good motherly figure and would be a good mom and probably will be. Let me see. No, it's up here. Where is the Jinbei thing? Can't even find it. Oh, yeah. Here it is. I'm just worried if he's going to be all right. What? Why are you being so ominous all of a sudden? Of course he'll be fine. Is it that thing? Oh, yeah. Don't forget his opponent swiftly defeated a large giant, Nami. Yeah. I mean, Jinbei is butting in like I don't know. But I think that's Oda's, like I said for Chopper, I think that's Oda's way of getting Jinbei used to the shenanigans of the crew. Like, shenanigans isn't even the right way to put it, because this isn't really a shenanigan, but it's kind of like, Jinbei, you just got to believe, bro. Like that, you know, you have to. That's the only thing you got to do when you're around the Straw Hats, is just believe. Oh, no, don't, nope. I did the wrong thing. Nope. Hey, listen, Shueisha, if you come after me for that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That was an accident. One Piece. Here we go. All right, guys. Someone give me a name to start with. I want someone from between after Skypiea, but before Dressrosa. As always, I want to go somewhere in the middle of the story. We had Giola the first time, which was still like the all-time best starting point I think we've ever had, because then we were able to get the answer in one more guess after that. Yeah, someone from the middle of the story. Neptune, Squard. I like both of those. Ryuboshi. I might go Ryuboshi. I might go Ryu. It's just so random, you know. It's so like I love it. Oh my god. Plume Black Hat. Dude. Don't did you already look at the answer today? Or was that a genuine random guess? Like, because I'm pretty sure the answer is just one of the other brothers. Like, bro, it's all right. I want to think about this before I decide. It's definitely because it's not Shirahoshi because it's older than Ryuboshi, and so I don't know the ages of the three brothers, but there's Manboshi and Fukuboshi, right? Fukuboshi is like the leader, so I feel is that his name? I thought it was Fukaboshi. I feel like it's him. It could be Neptune as well. You're right, and you said Neptune earlier, Nick, and it's taller. Let's I mean, it's got to be Manboshi, Fukaboshi, or Neptune. Plume Black Hat. If you would have gotten this on the first guess, and you genuinely would have gotten it without like looking at the answer already, that would have been insane. That would have been insane. It's not Fisher Tiger Time Lord because it says noble. It's 100% Neptune, Manboshi, or Fukaboshi. It's one of the three. Older than 23. Again, I don't know if Manboshi is older or younger. In Fukaboshi, he should be the oldest because he's like the leader of the three, right? Or at least like he's depicted that way. I don't know if he's like officially that way. But Neptune would definitely be older and definitely be taller. All right, Nick, I'm going to go Neptune just for you, man. Because if you actually got it and you got it on the first guess, that's crazy. Nope, not him. Oh, and look, his occupation is actually ruler, not noble. Okay, so that's a good little bit of information for me to know for the future, I guess. The king of a country is not the same occupation as the family. I'm going to go Fukaboshi because he's the only one that I can confidently say is older than Ryuboshi, you know? That's it, Fukaboshi. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. That was crazy, guys. Major shout out to the chat. Plume Black Hat and Nick Ovento. You guys both get a major shout out. Because even if I had started with Neptune, I probably would have been just as close. I don't know if I would have guessed Fukaboshi second, but we would have known it was one of the other Fishman royalty. That's crazy. Hats off to the chat. Chat was cooking today. Damn. If that was Neptune, Nick, that would have been real crazy, bro. I mean, you said you always start with him, so I guess eventually you'll be right. You know, you got to be right at some point. But this was crazy. Shout out to the chat. Man, observation hockey confirmed. Dude, the observation hockey went crazy today. It went so crazy. Because remember, during the chapter, there was like 3 times where I bring up like, oh, does it maybe connect to this? And then like the next sentence was the thing that I was talking about. And now we got people in the chat almost guessing the right character off rip too. So look, that's not even just observation hockey. That's future sight. That's insano. That might even be like, I don't know. Nick Ovento and Plume Black Hat might have like Shuri's eyes or something too. You know, y'all might be seeing things on a totally different level than the rest of us. The real beast, you said, what do you think about the emu is a parrot theory? I have not, I feel like read through it enough to give it a proper analysis. You know, my initial reaction based off the things I've seen, which again, I have not like looked through every argument or evidence. I think it's absolutely insane. You know, I mean, it sounds insane. The stuff I'm seeing looks insane, but maybe I need to give it like a more thorough chance before I completely sign off on it being insane. But it sounds insane. Like on the surface, you know, if you come and tell me, hey, emu's a parrot, I'm like, that you're insane. But there's probably a lot of theories I've said that where people feel the same way. So like I said, I need to give it a thorough shot, because I'm not gonna like completely discount it until I fully understand it. But based off what I've seen, it sounds insane. It sounds very insane. But Plume Black Cat, you said, Dak, you're better than me. I hate that theory. Like, if I had to be a betting man, or if I was a betting man and I had to bet right now, I would bet that I'm gonna hate it too and think it's the most crazy stuff I've ever seen. But I'm the guy who has a 1 million view video about the One Piece being an afro, so you know, I don't feel like I'm the right guy to discredit things that quickly. So I will give it a chance. I can't promise I'll read it, you know, in the next day or two, but pretty much every time I open up the One Piece subreddit, it's like the first thing I see is like more evidence for emu as a parrot. And so obviously people are loving this, but it feels more like Egg McBig to me than a real theory. It feels like it's like grown into a meme and we're just piling onto it. But I know some people think it's like a genuine thing too, so I'll give it a chance. But all right, guys, that is it for today. I appreciate y'all for being here. So no break, right? Oh yeah, I'm not showing it anymore. I was about to hop back over to the chapter and did not want to get in trouble if I was on the last scene, because you would have seen it. Yeah, there is a break next week. There is a break. Wait, that's accurate, right? Like that, because it also says chapter 1188 end. So I don't know if they just forgot to get rid of that layer, but it does say break next week. Okay, well, in that case, you guys can definitely expect a collab stream and a video and stuff this week for sure. Unless barring unforeseen circumstances, like, you know, my hands becoming unusable. It looked like I was like becoming the Hulk or something. Like it was crazy how I didn't get the poison ivy much anywhere else, but man, my hands, it looked horrible. But if something like that happens again, then maybe I won't be able to do a stream. But definitely hoping to. I want to at least do a prediction stream. I would like to do a collab stream and just get like Parvision or Psy or whoever on, you know. So definitely be on the lookout for that. That's exciting. Major shout out to Oda, because I know the break weeks suck because it's just all, you know, another week where we're not going to get more chapters and stuff. But for me right now, with how busy and how much stuff I've had to do, this is perfect. Now I got time to catch up, which is exactly what I needed. So without further ado, like I said, hopefully there will be some stuff for you guys to look forward to over the next week or 2 weeks, really. Chinho Wong, you said can't get Randy anymore. I don't think I've ever had Randy on the channel. I had Randy on Redacted one time to talk about Cross Guild, but I don't think I've ever had Randy on the channel because he's always busy, because he also reacts on Sundays. So if I want to get him on to talk about something new, it's got to be on a break week, but he's, you know, the busiest man in town with all the stuff he's got going on. So I would love to, but I think he's just a little bit too busy right now. But I don't know. I'll reach out to him. I would love to talk to Randy. It's been a minute. I mean, he's, like I said, he's been busy, so I haven't. It's not like I've been inviting him and he's been turning it down. I just presume he's too busy. So maybe I should ask and see. But I would love to get Randy on. Par, Psy. I mean, Par and Psy are like my top two homies, you know. Like, I'm always doing collabs with them. At least, like, creator homies, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I also want to do just like a chill prediction stream with you guys, like where I like write down your predictions. We haven't done that in a little while, which is my bad. But now that we got a break, it's a perfect opportunity for it. And even like with these blades, I think we could do a stream where we're just like trying to guess some of the other swords or something. I think that would be fun too. So I got plenty of opportunity. So yeah. Real quick, 3D704, member for 1 month. Welcome. And also, I love your profile picture, the Brook where he's smoking from one of the movies. That was my profile picture for a long time on. I think it used to be my picture on Discord before I made it my current logo. But yeah, I love that picture. Did the poison ivy prevent you from the reverie? Sort of. So the reverie was very. I'm not trying to like throw anyone under the bus because it's genuinely not anybody's fault. There's nothing like bad about it, but it was kind of like haphazardly thrown together, at least from my perspective. Like I didn't even hear about it till like a few days beforehand, and they had already like decided on the time and moved it around. And so I was already debating if I was going to go anyway, because they put it on like Saturday night and I was supposed to hang out with somebody, and I was like, I don't know. But then the poison ivy happened. So yes. So I may have been there regardless. I was invited, but once the poison ivy happened, I was not, I wasn't doing anything, guys. I was legitimately sitting on the couch, like getting up every so often to go dunk my hands in some like ice cold water and then put some hydrocortisone cream and moisturizer on, and then I go lay back down for 30 minutes. I get back up, dunk them back in the cold water so they stop flaring up. It was horrible. I don't want to go through all the details, but it was horrible. That was my first time ever having substantial issues with poison ivy. Because I know it's going to sound crazy because I'm talking about how I had all these issues, but I'm actually like resistant to poison ivy, which means like I will still get it, but I am less prone than the normal person, right? Like I'll probably have less of a reaction than the typical person. I've only had poison ivy react to me in general once my entire life, and I have touched it many times. But I was working on my neighbor's fence because it's a long story, but I was helping her pull some weeds and stuff, and I thought I had already pulled the poison ivy, and I was using gloves and stuff, so I was all good. But then I went out there when I was working without gloves because, again, I thought I removed it all. But apparently I didn't. And my hands were like... they reminded me that I'm not immune. I'm just kind of resistant. So, like, I feel like if somebody else genuinely did what I did, they would probably be in the hospital. Like my hands, like, they looked bad, but they never, like, really hurt that bad. They just looked bad. But I feel like a normal person who's like sensitive to that stuff, I genuinely think they would have been in the hospital. It was it was shocking. But either way, I'm gonna start wearing gloves no matter what. Anytime I go over there, I was actually over there today. I sprayed a ton of weed killer over by the fence today. Now that my hands are feeling better, I walked over there and I put so much weed killer by that fence. You guys have no idea. So hopefully it's all dying out. But all right, last super chat, then I'm actually getting out of here. I gotta go to Taco Bell. Mr. Bushido with the €2, which thank you for all your donations to Bushido and everyone else, by the way. Biblo knows the location of another hockey knot. Love that theory. I don't know if it'll be another knot just because, like, I mean, it could be, but I think it would be cooler if Oda started introducing some other versions of that, which I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I think another version would be really cool. But I like the idea that he does have some secret sauce from the past that can help him out. I'm a huge fan of that. That would be very, very cool. And last little theory I'll leave you with, there's all the thoughts that Emeth could be like Joy Boy's Frankie in a way, right? Like maybe he was the cyborg of Joy Boy's crew. Like we already know they were friends and all that. And he obviously had a hockey knot. And maybe the chopper of Joy Boy's crew had another one. Like maybe a lot of the remnants of the Joy Boy crew had various things that were left behind for important moments, right? And so maybe that's why Chopper's getting called in, this is going to tie to the chopper of Joy Boy's crew. And now I'm not saying that Biblo was the chopper of Joy Boy's crew, but that would be kind of sick. I think I think we already know that he's like a couple centuries old, not like 800, but I don't really know. But that would be cool. But yeah, sign me up. I think that'd be cool. But all right, guys, I am finally heading out of here. So we just passed the 2-hour mark, which is solid. So like I said, hopefully there'll be a discussion or something going on here in a few days. But just keep an eye out. We'll definitely do something over the break week. But thank you guys for being here as always. Hope you guys stay safe out there. Please be safe. That is the number one thing. And worst case scenario, I'll definitely see you guys in 2 weeks. But hopefully